Okay guys, we've got a couple of cool transitions and techniques for you today, but the biggest thing that we're looking at right now is from closed guard is striking considerations. What if I have this guy in my closed guard, we've wound up in this position and he's throwing punches, and we're going to look at how I can mitigate the ability for him to strike me effectively and cause a lot of damage, and also what I can do to transition into a couple of submission opportunities. So the first one we're going to look at here is if Jared is inside my guard like this. Now, there's different things that I may be able to do. I would like to keep his posture broken down to stop the bigger range of motion and stop a lot of the velocity behind his punches. But if he does posture up, then there's other ways that I can look to control the situation. Maybe if he's disconnected, I'm controlling more with my shins, more with my forearms, controlling the shoulder carriage, whatever it is like that. We're specifically looking at this one right now where he's posting up on me and he's rearing back to throw this punch. So I'm gonna bring my leg inside because the range of motion that he created for me made it effective for me to use my foot to his bicep. As I go to look to do that, I'm going to control here by the back of his arm, and I'm going to control by the wrist. So I have this 2-on-1 control on this near side arm that he's posted on, and I'm posting here. From this situation, I'm going to come in and I'm going to scoot back. I'm going to put my foot on the hips, stretch them out just a little bit like this, and now I'm going to allow this leg to slide off and shoot up for the triangle this way. Now, I have to be careful because now that my foot has come off the bicep, he has freedom here to throw more strikes. I still have the foot on the hip right now. I block like that, and now I'm going to post this foot here on the ground so that I can hip out, shoulder out like that. I can get a good strong bite like this, and then here I close up if I need to create a tighter squeeze, and I can grab my shin right here and close it up this way, flex the feet, try to get the knees at the same direction here. It makes a really tight triangle because of how stretched out and how twisted he is.
You want to pay attention to that foot and how sticky it is, right? So I'm in closed guard, he rears back, I lose the connection right here. As my foot goes on top, I'm watching the way the toes go over and under, so it's sticky, and let's just run this side. So it's sticky and stays with him wherever he goes, right? Until I find this 2-on-1 connection. All right, let's look at also what you can do if I've got the arm right here, but I'm not feeling like I can get the foot on the hip and start to scoot my hip out. That's likely because this post is so solid and he keeps driving the weight into me. So I'm just going to monitor the arm by holding the elbow and the wrist, and I'm going to scoop myself out, hip, shoulder. Now, as long as he's trying to keep me pinned with his weight, then it's going to bring his weight to the edge of his foundation. So I'm just going to use this connection right here and push into his chest as my leg kind of straightens, and he'll topple right over. I keep that stickiness, allowing me to keep the foot on the bicep, and as I come up, I'm going to put my knee next to his ear and pinch my knees together deep in the V's. From right here, I'm going to take my hand and cup the head, and I'm going to shift my weight off so my hip goes over the line between my knee and my hip to allow me to base. Now I'm going to whip this leg around till my heel comes to my knee, and then come back to the other side. Boom. I need to give myself the space, my head and shoulders coming back, so this leg has the freedom to come around. If I stay here, it gets too congested. So boom, I whip the leg around and come back. My hands switch grip on the head. I'm going to take my hips over my knee, which will help to pull his neck up into the V. Now I can easily catch the triangle position and come here to the finish, or for the arm lock finish like this.
So whenever Jared gets that foot here on my bicep, if I stay very connected to his center like the way I was here, the more connected I stay here like this pinning, the more I'm influenced by his movement outward, and the more sideways it makes me go. So my base starts to really narrow, making it very easy for him to make that sweep very effective. So once I rear back here to a range that he can no longer reach with this arm to block, now he's guarding this 2-on-1 like this. I'm looking to punch, but I can't go forward any longer. If I want to rear back to try to disconnect, I'm only helping his case by pulling my shoulder back this direction, and I'm going to wind up falling and doing most of the work of the sweep for him. So these are two different ways that we can look at how to set up a good triangle option from both bottom guard and from top mount after that sweep happens. And again, this is all from the concept of me inside the guard or him inside my guard trying to throw strikes. There's lots of different leverage points here at work. There's lots of structural considerations, and we're going to be discussing all these a lot more in depth with a whole series that we have coming out on punch proofing different positions, starting with closed guard. So keep your eyes out for it, guys. Jared Jessup and Eli Knight, we really appreciate you watching.
you.